Welcome back and many thanks for staying with us. Now on to another story. SSNIT. It's emerged as the biggest scandal to hit public funds administration in the last 2 weeks, clogging the headlines. Now I'm talking about the $72 million SSNIT OBS software scandal. Today, the board is due to hold a meeting on the matter, and we can tell you what we know so far and what's likely to happen. Editor here, Fred Smith, has been following this story. He joins me now in the studio for more. Just so you know, he's also visited SSNIT today, and we know that the meeting was underway. Fred, you're welcome.
Thank you. Good.
Okay, so what do we know at this point from what's happening?
Well, we've been to SSNIT today. We were made to understand that the board meeting was going to take place today, and we're going to look at several issues, including the issue of Caleb Afaglo, used to be known as Dr. Caleb Afaglo. There are issues with his certificates, and that's being investigated as well. We all know that Yoko has already done that investigation. They concluded and decided that the management of SSNIT should interdict him. That has been done. So okay, the board was going to take a final decision on that and other issues regarding the software. Right. As at midday, the Director General for SSNIT was not at the office where he usually would be, the pension house. That's where his office is. He wasn't there. The other board members were not there. They were not present. The expectation was that the board meeting would take place there, and that has been the norm. Unfortunately, nobody
the meeting was not held there.
Found. So the conclusion, I mean, what you can conclude is that they may have taken the meeting to another location, but that notwithstanding, we're following it.
What was the mood, finally, before you go? What was the mood at SSNIT? I mean, they've been in the headlines, like we indicated in our intro, for the past, 2 weeks, and it's not very good. It's not like they're getting any good publicity. Yeah. What's the mood like among workers at the place?
Well, everybody is alert. Everybody's on the alert. Almost every staff of SSNIT I met was on the alert. I chanced on some friends. I didn't even know they worked at SSNIT. Even for friends, they were still cautious as to what they tell, me or what they do not tell me. So that's the mood. Nobody wants to give anything away. All right. Just on the alert.
All right. So we've been running a post poll here, and I'm going to take you through the results that we've had so far. Well, it appears that the results won't be ready, but of course you can infer from the comments that you get. So should SSNIT be shut down following the revelation by Yoko and others? Of course, yesterday we had a conversation here with a financial investigator who has been with the Yoko before when it was called the Serious Fraud Office, and he tells us that, I mean, that was his opinion, that SSNIT ought to be shut down so that the people of Ghana will be able to make their own choices in terms of what kind of policy, insurance policy they want to follow, so that we don't have to be paying this mandatory money to SSNIT all the time. So we've been asking you about your opinion on this particular matter, whether or not SSNIT should be shut down and be made to collapse so we can choose. Philip Ahuma, I'm going to start with you. You say, let them pay all benefits and then shut it down. Let workers invest their own money in whichever way they want to. And this is what happens when there is a compulsory contribution imposed on government workers. Because they knew this was going to happen, they included the private sector too. Instead of, okay, you go on and on, it's quite a long comment, but the point is well made at the beginning. Let's move on to some others because there's still a lot more comments. Jumo Yao says that is too Ramazy and Dramatrox. How can you seriously? Dude.
You want to say it's a complex issue. It's okay, we understand.
Don't worry. I've got someone who will meet you. I mean, I have your meter here in the studio. He'll be joining me very soon. A lawyer in T is here. He'll break it down for us. So, says, okay, you go on and you say that how can you homoglobe brahminis? Okay, thank you. I don't think I'll be able to read this anymore. But well. So kindly disregard the referee. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Jomo. Prince Marco says, yes, it's another useless public institution in this country. The workers of SSNIT do not contribute to the scheme. Why wouldn't they invest carelessly? I think that the choice to contribute to the scheme should be made optional by reviewing the law. Then we shall see how many Ghanaian workers will opt for their poorest service. Okay, let me go on with some other comments. Evans Ni Ayikwe says, advocates for the systems in Ghana to function well. As far as I'm concerned, the only institution that functions well are the male and female entry into public toilets. And even with that, those with running stomachs violate the norms there. In fact, Ghana needs a complete overhaul to function properly. No is the answer. So you don't want it to be shut down. You think that the systems must be made to work. Teddy Abels, JoyNews. As for this, your poll party, it is uncalled for. How on earth should someone call for the shutdown of SSNIT? Wrong call. Well, that's not our call. It's a call by experts who are making that proposal.
It's happened before in Nigeria. It's happened not too far from us.
Right. Well, he thinks that it's, yeah, of course. We're here to mirror what society says, views, right? Yeah. So, Roja, no. But why should government appointee chair the board, and why should it be the government to appoint a director general to oversee pensioners' money? Ghana laws are flawed. You mean to say flawed, right? Okay, let me take the final comment, and then just so you know, we'll bring you the Pulse poll, the compilation of the results of the Pulse poll on Twitter in a bit. But finally, Moro Husseini says, no, government should rather investigate and put the necessary competent team to run it for the poor pensioner. If it is shut down, what happens to our contributions? That's a question that I put to the financial investigator yesterday when he was here. He says that it will not go waste. I don't know how, but he says it will not go waste. Fred, let me take your thoughts on that.
Well, the explanation has been that, well, you're shutting it down not to keep whatever they've collected to themselves, but to reinvest to any trust that you would choose as your preferred trustee. So it's not like you're going to lose any funds you've contributed so far. It will go to a trust that you choose, and I'm not sure you lose that. Okay, well, very soon we'll also bring you a box. We've been talking to people on the streets on what they think about this. We're also preparing to be on the ground as and when lawyers for the embattled head of MIS, Caleb Afaglo, are ready to give us their information. I mean, to speak to the matter. We'll bring that to you live as well. But here is our final verdict from the Pulse poll that we did earlier. So, on Twitter, should SSNIT be shut down following the revelations by Yoko, etc.? The vote is yes or no. 59% of you say yes. 41% say no. It's still an appreciable number of people who don't want SSNIT to be shut down. Results. Very close.
But anyway, but there has to be one president, isn't it?
Exactly.
Okay, so 59% say yes. 41% of you say no. We have 27 votes, and we still have 23 hours left for you to contribute. So let's know what you think. Hopefully, like the financial investigator says, you know, we'll be able to start a certain level of crusade against this. Let's hear from people on the street before I wrap up with Fred from here.
I've come across blogs who just painted an image of a company, but at the end of the day, the whole thing have gone around and people are carrying the news. But eventually, the blogger or the person that has the company went back to the owner, and the person he painted bad, I'm saying, I'm sorry, I did this. They say, now, how do you reconcile the issue? Many people have carried the news that the image of the company is bad, they're not doing services, and now you are coming back secretly to come and tell me, oh, I'm sorry. Now, how do we reconcile the issue? So you have to be careful when issues like this come to make sure you get it very fast, very well, before you put up your final decisions.
The scandals, I will say that we have to take into consideration what time that it happened. Like you just said, for about 50 years they've been serving us. Now, what went wrong with them, with their services since they've been serving us? Is it the past 3 years that these things started happening? And who has been heading? Is it a sect of people in that institution that are liable to that scandal? Then they have to be held accountable, but not the whole institution. But if our research goes deeper to tell that things have been happening, rotten things have gone down the lane since years, it is then that I will suggest that then we have to take a second look at it as a nation. If we need to bring a competitor or even diversify it completely, then that is the opinion that I will give. But for now, if our research hasn't proved for how long this has been going on, who has been the head for the past years that it has been in existence. Those that have headed it have done their best. And for some few past years, a certain person came and his group, and they couldn't do things better. And we want to tarnish the image of the whole institution. That will not be fair.
Concerning the SSNIT issue, I think it's a very good thing. But you work, and at the end of the day, you go for your pension, something, and it will be a whole lot of issues. If it is an individual setup or company, it's fine. But this is with the government. So if you have issues and if you are pushing forward, they will be, backing their whole thing with the lawyers and the judges. And as a lay person, you don't have anything to say, so you just back off. So all the time, we lose our money through this institution. I guess if they give it to a private sector, it will be very good.
All right, so there's still divided opinion on this matter. People think that there are those who think that we need to dig deeper. There's more investigations that need to be done if we have to decide finally that SSNIT should be shut down. But in the meantime, there's a statement making the rounds in response to the claims that value for money audit was not done for some housing project investments that was done last year. Fred is here. Fred, take us through it and tell us about the source of this particular writing.
Well, it's not official yet, but we do understand that it was prepared. The statement was prepared by the the immediate past Director General for SSNIT, Ernest Thompson, in response to claims or accusations that value for money audits was not done before the housing project they entered into last year was undertaken. And it's saying, I'll give you what the heading says. Right. SSNIT did a thorough investment viability appraisal of the project before it decided to do the investments with the foreign partners. And as part of the explanation, it goes on to say that SSNIT Investment Department, which has experts, did a complete investment appraisal report which established the financial viability of the said project and also established the reasons why SSNIT should do the investment. What the accusations are is not the viability assessment, but value for money. Right. That has not been responded to in this. Again, it's not an official statement, so we're waiting for the official statement. We understand that there's some meeting ongoing there, and they may come up with a statement we can ask them questions. We
can refer to officially, so we can probe further. All right, so that's it for SSNIT. Of course, it's a developing story. Every day comes with a new angle, doesn't it? We've also been to the SSNIT, the premises, and we'll bring you some more pictures and visuals from there as well. But still, the pulse with me gives 10.